Good evening and welcome here to Turner Stadium on the campus of Taylor University for tonight's men's soccer match in the Crossroads League between two cross-county foes, the Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats and the Taylor Trojans. This, a delay here for our opening kickoff of the night. Rick Johnston here with you as we got one of our assistant officials his flag. He needs that. But they're jogging to the goal to our right to go inspect something over there. Not sure exactly what. Oh, they need some tape to fix one of the, there's a slight hole that is opened up on the near side of the near side goal. As Aaron Carr, the freshman goalkeeper, 6'2", 195 pounds for Indiana Wesleyan out of Cedar Springs, Michigan, lifts the near side post in the air. They tape the part of the net down, and we look to be ready to go. Rick Johnston here with you tonight. This is the Marion General Hospital countdown to soccer kickoff. Indiana Wesleyan comes in 5-6-3 overall, but 3-3 in the Crossroads League, 9 points for the Wildcats. They're tied for fourth right now with Bethel. Taylor comes in just 2 points back and alone for sixth. They're 2-3-1, but they're trying to bounce back from a tough loss on Saturday to St. Francis, 2-1, who came in dead last in the Crossroads League before last week's win. 2 miscues by the Trojans in their own defensive end led to those those St. Francis tallies. Indiana Wesleyan in red jerseys with white shorts and red socks. A long ball played forward to Glauber Oliveira. Tried to work it back to the middle, knocked away by the Trojans. Another ball sent into the box. Nobody there except the Trojan keeper, Luke Williams. Luke comes in, 21 goals allowed this year. He has played and started in all 16 of Taylor's games here in 2019. The senior out of Indianapolis has stopped a Crossroads League best 77 shots this year. He has 4 shutouts on the year. He also has an assist. Aaron Carr, 27 goals allowed. He's just behind Williams in saves, stopping 76 shots this year. But he has the second worst goals against average in the Crossroads League and almost 2 goals allowed per contest. Maloney on the near side of the field plays the ball behind his feet, and he'll dump it back to Owen Hardy. Down on a knee, and Hardy will pop the ball across the midline to Peter Linder, then dumps it back in to Quinn Partain. Weather an issue here tonight. Temperatures, as the wind picks up, will dip close to 30 miles an hour thanks to that wind chill. We're currently sitting at about 50 degrees, give or take, make it 49 on a cloudy night here in Upland, Indiana. But that wind right now is at Taylor's backs. It is blowing out towards the far side corner out and to our right. But the advantage for the Trojans right now with the wind at their back is here in the first half. So we'll see how that comes into play here this evening, particularly when the two teams switch sides and Indiana Wesleyan starts going with the wind at their back coming up in the second half. Williams, big right-footed boot with the wind aiding that one, bounces forward, and here comes Clay Vanderkolk on a dead run. Knocks it down to Siegelin. Left-footed bomb try. It'll skip in and be stopped by Aaron Carr. Siegelin's had some magic scoring both of his goals this year on the home field, and both, that first one of the year, came from long range. Not as far, a little bit, about the same, roughly the same spot where he just was where he let that one rip. But there's the first shot of the night. Top goal scorer for Indiana Wesleyan, 29 in red. That is Felipe Mendonça out of Brazil. The sophomore, 6'2", 12 goals on the year, tied for third most in the Crossroads League. The Trojans led by Paul McBride. He's 11 in white. He has scored 7 times this year. That is 9th best in the Crossroads League. Oliveira trying to spin away from Lynn to the near side of the field. This will be Agerter. Wants to find Mendonça. Vanderkolk right there in his hip pocket. They laid all the way back to Baldez. Jeremy Baldez out of Colorado Springs, Colorado, to the far side of the field, and Zach Hargraves, who's one of the few players on the field tonight with no long sleeves and no gloves. But Hargraves out of Manchester, England, the 6-foot sophomore midfielder, transferred into IWU from Southern Wesleyan. Mendonça, long-range try. That one sails over the crossbar as Taylor left him open for about 23 yards. Open for 23 yards down on the goal from the near side slot. So each team with a shot here in the early going as we've played almost 4 minutes here in half number 1. Taylor going from left to right with the wind at their back here in the first half. Indiana Wesleyan in the road red going from right to left. Taylor 5-2 here at home this year. Indiana Wesleyan 2-4-2 on the road. They're led by fifth-year head coach Luke Sanford. The Trojans, led by Taylor alum, a soccer player and a baseball player during his time here at TU in his 16th season leading the boys. It's Gary Ross. Foul called as Hardy has his legs cut out from underneath him by Agrater, Tony Agrater out of St. Louis, Missouri. I'm sure Agrater a little upset with the St. Louis Cardinals being eliminated from playoff contention yesterday, being swept by the Washington Nationals in the National League Championship Series. But a free kick here for TU. Michael Maloney will stand over it. He was the hero the last time Taylor was here, getting the game-winning goal against Grace on homecoming Saturday a couple of weeks ago. 6 yards inside midfield is where the free kick will come from, and he blasts a right foot towards the backside of the box across from us, headed into the middle, then across the end line, off the forehead of Clay Vanderkolk and out of play. And we'll get to see Aaron Carr's first goal kick of the night with the wind blowing into his face. That wind gusting up close to 30 miles an hour, a consistent wind of about 15 miles per hour. And Strasser has it back in the middle, rolls away as the pressure came from Hardy. Valdez, as McBride applies pressure in the attacking half for Taylor. Stepping forward is Hargraves, running away from trouble, and he'll work it up to Mendonça, who's got Gallup on his hip. Far side of the field as Iwu carries forward. No score, just about 5 minutes into half one. Dancing with his Binkard. Right side box across, deflected on and punched away on the far side post by Luke Williams. It goes across the end line. Friendly fire there from Taylor. It'll be the first corner here of the night from either side. And Oliveira will take it from the far side, both hands in the air, so he'll take it with his right foot. A low outswinger up to the top, and Hargraves. Hargreaves steps in, right-footed shot to the near side. It'll be kept in Willits. No, it will not. Jumping in the air was Wes Williams, the junior out of High Point, North Carolina. Williams was down here early on the field about 2 hours before our match started with no shoes on and juggling a soccer ball around. And Wes Williams, a tougher man than me. I had shoes on, and I was still cold at about 5:30 when we were getting set up. That maybe was a way to help him get more acclimated to the elements. Cole Gilliam carries from the back end for Taylor. Hits the brakes and plays it back towards the goal, and Luke Williams. Pressure comes from Mendonça, and then Taylor will deal it off to Gallup from Williams. Up far side, faking to his right, coming back to his left is Partain. He'll deal it back once again to Gallup. Right-footed pass from the far side to the middle. As Taylor goes from left to right and white, no score. About 7 minutes gone here in half one. Long pass sent forward. McBride heads it into the air. Vanderkolk tries to usher his way in. The ball deflected back to Siegelin. Wanted to dump it into space towards the cutting Hardy. Snuffed out by the Iwu back line. And Oliveira comes back to pick it up for Indiana Wesleyan. Far side run, this will be Garrett Troop. As Siegelin comes back to mark him, Troop hits the brakes and works back to his left. Hargreaves just inside midfield. Right footing it forward and passing to the middle. And this will be Davidson. Near side and Valdez. Hardy comes to mark him. Valdez with a fake, got Hardy into there. That gave Valdez some space. Centering ball in, headed on right to the stomach of Luke Williams. And there's Luke's first save of the night. Came on the redirect from Binkard. Binkard, a freshman out of Eugene, Oregon. 2 goals and an assist this year in his first season at Marion, Indiana. 2 shots on the evening here for Indiana Wesleyan. Siegelin looks for a foul. The Taylor students across from us want one as well. Siegelin, that's Adam Siegelin. Thought he got pushed in the back. Younger brother Andrew will start this match on the bench. Has been in the starting lineup for TU. And a long ball through. Taylor will have Vanderkolk get onto the end line far side. Punching it back up top, Siegelin. Pie volley into the air. Partain backpedals and holds it in. Partain trying to move to the end line, trying to turn the corner, hits the brakes. The ball pops back into play as it went to the end line, but Binkard was too far away to get to it, and Taylor will quickly reset with a throw-in on the far sideline. Siegelin holds the ball over his head and will bounce one in to Partain. Partain pushed from behind. Binkard able to get there. Partain regained his footing and punched it out of play with the right foot to hold off on the Iwu counterattack. Two shots to one for Indiana Wesleyan here in the early going. And there's Mendonça with their leading goal scorer far side, but he loses it out of play. And a quick throw in for Taylor to Siegelin, then to Partain. Siegelin loses his footing. It'll go off of the Trojans. And Indiana Wesleyan will throw it in from their attacking half on the far sideline. Iwu works it back towards midfield, and Williams. Up to Strasser. Side steps away from Siegelin. Pass to the middle to the cutting man. And now here's a dangerous try in the middle. Long shot will go just wide of the far side post. Third shot of the night, and the second one there from Binkert. So Indiana Wesleyan with a couple of good opportunities here in the last few moments. On a cold, cold night here in Upland, Indiana. One roster update to give to you. Taylor has elevated Gabe Boron from the JV to the varsity squad tonight. He'll wear number 6. Williams, the wind at his back, will not drive it into the air. Instead, slowly plays it across the turf to Cole Gilliam. Dribbling forward, big right-footed pass. McBride with a man on him, now shakes away. McBride, near side touch, out of play, trying to connect with Hardy, but last touched by Indiana Wesleyan, and so Hardy will let Maloney throw it in from the near sideline. Hardy, right-footing it back to Maloney, then back forward, slips through too far for Hardy to get to. Lynn makes life difficult for Iwu trying to clear, and Maloney back on top of it. Big first touch. Hardy jumps over a downed Iwu player who pops back to his feet. That was Agerter, and then Maloney will drill it all the way back into the defensive half as Partain comes back to get it. Gallup gives it back to Partain on the far side. Defensive half for Taylor. As Taylor assistant coach Jude Johansson tries to direct traffic. Here comes Hardy, uncovered all the way to the midfield stripe. Lost his footing, and Taylor turns it over as Strasser will jog across midfield for Indiana Wesleyan. Whelan right there. Mendoza touched it back to nobody. And so Lynn will deal it back to the defensive side, and Quinn Partain for Taylor. Long ball over McBride's head off the chest of Hargreaves. His clearance try missed initially by Taylor's Adam Siegelin. Vanderkolk was working up the far sideline, slipped, but Taylor still will be able to get the ball back to the defender Gallup. Vanderkolk back to the defensive side for TU. Laying it back to Partain, who sends a long ball up the far sideline to Siegelin. Whelan steps it over, nobody back there in white, and that gives an easy clearance try for Indiana Wesleyan to Agerter. Strasser, and now Hargreaves forward. Long ball in, Mendoza trying to sneak behind Gilliam. Right edge of the box as Mendoza will circle back. Partain comes to help out. Crossing ball cleared away by Gallup inside the box. And this ball will be pinballing around and out of play. Far sideline throw-in upcoming for TU. Maloney will throw it in from the end of his own bench. That's down to our left. Gilliam. And then to Gallup. All the way to the far sideline in Siegelin. Wind really picking up here. You can't hear it on the crowd microphone, but those flags on the field really blowing a lot as Gallup tried to connect on a very long pass to Adam Siegelin. His initial touch careened off of his leg and went out of play. As it looked like Adam had a little bit of space to try to sneak behind the Iwu defense. 3 shots to 1 here in the early going for Indiana Wesleyan. They're coming off of a 4-1 win at Marion last Saturday. The Trojans tied the Knights 1-1 in that contest a week ago tonight. Iwu racing forward, trying to find our first goal of the night. Agerter, right-footed try, high and wide, didn't get enough curl on it. It was deflected on the way there by Maloney. It'll be the second corner of the night upcoming here for Indiana Wesleyan. First shot for Agerter. And it'll be Oliveira to take this one from the far side. He is out of Brazil. 2 goals and 5 assists. The leading assist man for Indiana Wesleyan. All the way back to Hargreaves. Vanderkolk comes out to play him. 2-man game. Hargreaves, far side, wants to connect with Oliveira again. Right edge of the box. His cross. Was it deflected out? It was, as Hargreaves had it deflected behind the Taylor goal. And here comes corner kick number 3 of the evening for Indiana Wesleyan. Iwu with an advantage over their opponent, 61-45 in corners coming in. Taylor has given up 30 more corner kicks to their opponents this season than what they've been able to achieve. Corner kick far side, a low outswinger, knocked away by Whelan, can't clear it of the Trojans. Still in, shot was blocked on the try by Davidson, but Iwu able to hold it in. Hargreaves has it, pinballed around, and it goes off the shoulder and down to Vanderkolk. McBride a couple yards inside midfield, trying to shield his defender away. That's Troop. And Taylor able to keep the ball in their possession. Lynn and Vanderkolk, a 2-man game. Vanderkolk too far for Siegelin on the far sideline, and this one will go out of play. John Alzate about to come in for Taylor at the next opportunity. As Iwu will work it from the back. Wes Williams with the ball at his feet. Long hair bouncing with each step as he plays it to Valdez on the near sideline. Around Hardy. Pass cut off by Maloney. A slide from Hardy, trying to keep it going. Got to go back to Taylor's favor. And now Hardy, who can really scoot, hits the brakes and rotates away from 2 red-shirted defenders. Wheeland off to Maloney. Now back to Gilliam as Taylor tries to set things up from the defensive half. Mendoza applies pressure from the back of Gilliam. He'll deal it off to Hardy. Now Mendoza hustling. Maloney kicks it away before Mendoza could get there. Ball knocked around. McBride trying to catch an angle. Running in on Carr, who drives it with a right foot out of the goal box. Or away from the box, I should say. Lynn steps in. Catches Oliveira with a foot as Oliveira goes down. Foul against Taylor, the first one against the home team tonight. Four shots to 1 for Iwu tonight as they look for their 3rd road victory of the year. A big 3 points on the line. Taylor still with an opportunity to host a Crossroads League Tournament quarterfinal game here in a couple weeks as we're in the very last few matches of the regular season. This is match 7 tonight for the Trojans. They have 2 more, Saturday here at home, and then Wednesday at Mountain Front and Nazarene. Then the regular season will be come to a close. Long left shot by Davidson. Didn't even left it back. Got about 5 feet away, 5 yards away, I should say. Didn't even get on tries. It was blocked. McBride working back off of whom I should say. And before the Trojans can throw it in, here comes Alzate.
Now on for Taylor, number 10, John Alzate.
Alzate enters. He gets Josiah Wheeland, who's second on the Trojans in goals with 6. And a throw in from Partain. Over Siegelin's head. Iwu clears up the far side. They keep it in. Cannot connect with Mendoza. And the gallop header cannot be kept in play as it goes out. Good hustle, though, by Quinn Partain of TU. Indiana Wesleyan going from right to left in red. Taylor defends in white. Siegelin circles away from 2 defenders. Partain dishes it off. Gallup in trouble, and stepping forward is Gilliam to punch it ahead before Agerter could get on top of him and take it away. Taylor tried to slip a ball through. Cannot from Vanderkolk. Mendoza touching off to Oliveira. Trying to shake away from Alzate. His pass is into traffic. Knife down by Lynn. And then Gilliam works it up to McBride in the center circle. Surrounded by defenders. His pass easily intercepted by Hargreaves as McBride wanted to send it to the far side of the field and Adam Siegelin. Pass back. Valdez steps away. Tripped up by Hardy as Valdez tried to keep his footing. Lost it. And the foul goes against Taylor. Second foul against the Trojans here tonight. Home cooking has been good for Taylor this year, 5-2 as we mentioned. But a big 3 points on the line tonight. If Taylor could win tonight, they would leapfrog Indiana Wesleyan in the Crossroads League standings. A nice back heel flick intended for Agater. Kicked away by Gallup across the end line. And with almost 26 minutes remaining here in the first half, Indiana Wesleyan gets ready for their 4th corner kick here of the opening half, with Jeremy Baldez about to take it from the near side. Actually make it a throw-in, so no corner for the Wildcats. But this one works itself all the way into the box. It hits the turf. Bicycle kick on, and Williams able to easily read it, as Oliveira was going to kick it wide. Williams, though, snatches it up. Indiana Wesleyan has gotten really close to the top of the box. A couple of different tries here tonight as they found kind of the soft spots of the Taylor D. Williams, instead of kicking it, will just hurl this thing about 45 yards in the air. And Maloney will send it the rest of the way. McBride trying to be onside. Carr inside the box by a yard and snatches it a couple yards before P. McBride can get there. Carr skies this one short. Remember, the wind in the Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats' face here in half number 1. No score, about 20 minutes gone here in the first half. 5 shots to 1. The totals right now for Indiana Wesleyan. Oliveira had it, lost it. Mendoza gives it back to him. Pass to the middle, cut away by Gilliam of Taylor. And Gallup will circle it back up to the center circle, held in by Wes Williams of Indiana Wesleyan. A challenge, and falling down will be Agater, and a foul called against Taylor's Michael Maloney. Third foul against the Trojans. You can hear Iwu head coach Luke Sanford shouting out instructions down to our right. 2 men standing over it will be Hargreaves along with C.J. Strasser. No score. Strasser fakes. Right-footed in, headed back and over the goal. It was Mendoza on the try from Hargreaves. So Taylor trying to work it from the back. Maloney, big left foot forward. Headed down by Williams as they try to connect long range with McBride. Good feet from Hardy to poke it away. McBride near side. Hardy's got to really scoot to get on top of it. He does. Near sideline, Hardy trying to dance with Williams. Far side or far end line cross sent away by Indiana Wesleyan. Down and snatched up by Oliveira. Mendoza tried to give it back to him. Gilliam cut the pass off. It bounces over the head of Benkerd, who circles back to the near side of the field. Foot race with Lynn. Another big touch forward. He'll hit the brakes and then deal it off to the accelerating Agater. He'll cross it in with a right foot, sent away by the skull of Cole Gilliam. Siegelin trying to circle, punching between the legs of the defender. Not enough juice to get to McBride. And Hargreaves will work it back forward for Indiana Wesleyan. Davidson off to Hargreaves, the Englishman. We'll send it to the far side of the field. Trying to hold it in, Troop. Taken away by Taylor and Siegelin. Partain will bash it in deep. McBride hustling, and the flag is in the air. McBride offside by about a yard or two. Siegelin not happy with it. Neither are the Trojans, but there's the first offside of the night as Taylor trying to connect with the very speedy Paul McBride. So it'll be Gabe Boron, the JV call-up, and Keaton Clay about to check in for the Trojans. They'll be the second and third subs of the night for Taylor. Indiana Wesleyan has yet to go to their bench. Hargreaves, big right foot forward. Mendoza there. Williams all the way out of the goal box, all the way near the top of the box. He's got to backpedal in. Iwu tries to find Mendoza again, and it's Gilliam coming in from the backside to bash this one out of play across from us. Iwu throw in far sideline. Trying to cross into the box up top. Working back, shot is on, and Williams is right there on top of it. Shot came in from Oliveira. Second shot of the night by Oliveira. Wind gusting up close to 30 miles an hour here tonight. And that wind chill is going to make it feel like it's in the 30s before the end of the evening. Dangerous one sent into the box by Indiana Wesleyan. Thankfully for them, their keeper, Carr, had to go right at him. Both goalies wearing black tonight. Williams with his number 1 in white. Carr's number 1 in red. Oliveira, good run up the middle. Hits the brakes as Lynn forces him back. They lay it off near side to Valdez. Strasser to the middle and Davidson. Darting away from trouble now Oliveira. Once Mendonça led him too far, and it rolls into the box untouched before it finds the feet of Taylor's keeper Luke Williams. Keaton Clay trying to stay warm with the aid of Taylor athletic trainer Joe Walter down below us. And now he does the same thing for Beauron, who's about to come in. Beauron a little bit more equipped for the cold weather. He's got long sleeves and gloves. Clay in short sleeves and no gloves. Gallup with the man on top, right on his back, will stop and box out the hard-charging Oliveira and allow his keeper Williams to pick it up. Gilliam wants to find Hardy and does as he steps in front of Agrater. Maloney near sideline. Once McBride bracketed by 2 defenders, headed out of play by the leaping Jeremy Valdez. And here come Clay and Gabe Beauron.
Number 6, Beauron, and number 21, Keaton Clay.
They replace Siegelin and Hardy. So again, Beauron has been playing on the JV team this fall. And they're the second and third subs of the night for the Trojans. First time in a long time that Taylor has had the ball in their attacking half. Hargreaves, big right foot to the near side of the field where he finds Agrater. Maloney there. Agrater deals it off to Oliveira before Maloney cut off his airspace. Valdez up to Oliveira. Clay marks him, and then they go back once again near side to Valdez. Hargreaves steps away from Beauron. Midfield all the way up to Mendonça. Foot race there. Williams will slide and smother it up before Mendonça could try to chip it over the diving Taylor keeper. Luke Holwerda stands down below us. The sophomore out of Batavia, Illinois, about to come in. Less than 19 minutes to go here in the first half. Still nothing between Taylor and Indiana Wesleyan, but the field is definitely tilted in IWU's favor. Beauron hustling in, but he won't be able to get to it before Carr catches the ball above his head. 7 shots to 1 here for Indiana Wesleyan in the early going. 2 apiece for Binkert, Oliveira, and Mendonça. Agrater with the other one for the Wildcats. Adam Siegelin with the only shot so far tonight for TU. It was on goal. Both teams with only 1 shot on goal so far. Each goalie, Williams for Taylor and Carr for IWU, both able to make the stop. Valdez's left-footed clearance deflected away by Michael Maloney. Valdez will throw it in front of his own bench down below us. Heave it into the right. Mendonça off of his foot, trying to knock it forward as Oliveira. Playing it deep to the end line. Coming off of his line is the keeper, Williams. Oliveira and Agrater want an explanation. And Maloney gives it off to Agrater. And Williams will send this one away. One bounce off the turf. McBride tries to keep working it forward. A sliding kick sends it into the night sky as Binkert and Partain will jostle forward across from us. Binkert circles it back in. Oliveira sidestepping a couple different Taylor defenders, but his pass will slip on through and find the waiting feet of Taylor's Alex Gallup. Lynn to Partain, pushed from behind at midfield, and the flag and the whistle comes out. Second foul against Indiana Wesleyan tonight. Relatively clean match here so far. 3 fouls for Taylor. Again, that's the second one against the visitors from across the county. Less than 17 minutes remaining here in the first half. 0-0 between Taylor and Indiana Wesleyan. Philip Basara about to come in for the Wildcats. Gilliam to the end line. McBride trying to get to it first. Does. Crosses. We'll say it over the goal and out of play as that one curled out of play before it landed back to the turf. Here comes Holwerda for Taylor, and here comes Basara for Indiana Wesleyan.
On for Indiana Wesleyan, number 11, Philip Basara.
Basara in. Exiting for Indiana Wesleyan will be who? Do not see who exited for Indiana Wesleyan. We'll have to check the live stats. It's Holwerda that comes in for McBride for Taylor. I thought it might be Baldez, but Baldez stays in. Trying to see if there's an IWU player. Nope. IWU player isn't taking the long way around to exit. But either way, Basara in here for the Wildcats, first time tonight. Lynn trying to run through traffic, goes off of his feet, and IWU will throw it in across from us. And the whistle blows, and the man throwing it in for Indiana Wesleyan will have to back up. And it's going to be Troop, and he's upset because he has to walk back even farther, and that just intensifies the jeering he gets from the Taylor students across from us. Boron touching it away from trouble. Boron keeps it going Taylor's way. Holwerda just a step late, and here's Hargreaves trying to move it from the back. Lynn cuts his clearance down in midfield into space, and Holwerda poked away from him right to the feet of Oliveira for Indiana Wesleyan. Holwerda trying to haul him down. Oliveira slips, and Holwerda tripped him. Luke trying to argue his case, but their feet got tangled up, and Holwerda draws the foul. Fourth one against Taylor here in the opening half, as Andrew Siegelin awaits to enter the fray for TU. Taylor head coach Gary Ross barking out instructions down below us. Hargreaves on top of this one, a two-man wall in front of him. 14.5 minutes left to go, half one, no score. Hargreaves will sail this one 30 yards over the goal and through the crossbar. And a goal kick upcoming for Taylor, but not before Andrew Siegelin checks in for the first time tonight. He replaces Vanderkolk.
No one for Taylor, number 8.
And it sounds like Clay Vanderkolk's roommate sitting down below us as he shouts out that Clay is his roommate to our crowd here on hand tonight. Good crowd for the weather. Again, the wind at Taylor's backs in the first half, gusting up to 30 miles an hour. It's going to make it feel like it's in the 30s thanks to that wind chill. And we might even get down and flirt with the 30s before the night is through. Started off the game at 40, or the match at 49 degrees, the air temperature. That wind's been blowing since the sun rose this morning. We had a brief little bit of sun this morning, but since then it has been cloudy skies, some little rain showers is off and on, but a dry surface down here below us. Taylor trying to counter. Clay at midfield. Looking forward, his pass to the right intended for Alzate. Cut away by Baldez, and Maloney, one of the three captains for Taylor, to throw it in. The Trojan captains, Maloney along with Lynn and Luke Williams. Lynn's touch for his other captain, Maloney, too far. And here comes the Brazilian Oliveira to throw it in, but he'll turn and give it off to Baldez, the Colorado native. Gilliam heads it up. Back to the middle. Alzate cuts in front of Oliveira. He'll dance with it and dish it off back to Michael Maloney. Good cut down by Strasser to Oliveira. Mendonça had a man cutting in front of him as he's bracketed by both Siegelin and Alzate. Here comes Boron, stealing the ball and dishing off to Clay. Clay legging it out, long pass, trying to connect to Holwerda. Had to come back to get it, does. Williams right there on his left hip. Circling over his right shoulder's Holwerda, slips, but is able to touch it down to Alzate. Into space near side, Maloney looking to cross. Hits the brakes and gets off to his left foot. Laying it back to Clay. Pressure comes from Basara. Lynn weaving through defenders. Alzate trying to punch it up. Finds Lynn, who chests it down. Crossing, failing right foot. There's Boron leaping into the air, who heads it over the crossbar. Nice aggressiveness by the former JV player Boron, making his first varsity appearance of his career tonight. And that's just the second shot for Taylor all evening. It comes with almost 12 minutes remaining in the first half. 8-2 the shots in favor of Indiana Wesleyan, but each team with only one shot on frame. Alzate tangled up, and the foul will come against Troop. Troop up unhappy with it. And now it looks like a warning has been issued. Also Hargreaves as well, given an issue from our head official. No score, free kick and a set piece opportunity here for Taylor. It's Alzate and Partain to stand over it. Partain with that dominant left foot. could curl it in here, but he'll have to get a lot of spin on it from the far side of the field. He'll play it with that left foot to the middle of the box, reaching in, backside play. Gallup pulls his hands back at the last moment. They'll say it was deflected on by Indiana Wesleyan. And for the first time tonight, Taylor will have a corner kick. And this will set up beautifully for Partain and that beautiful left foot of his. The Trojans don't throw everybody forward. They throw their 4 defenders all the way back. So Partain near side corner, first corner of the night for Taylor. Low in-swinger, chested down by Iwu. Alzate comes in, overruns it. A little bit of help from behind by Basara to tangle up Alzate. And here comes Indiana Wesleyan on a dead run. Ball sent in deep by Valdez. Overrunning it is Binkerd. Pressure to Siegelin. Or to make it, or excuse me, make that, not Siegelin, I apologize, Boron. As he takes Binkerd to the turf. That'll be the 5th foul against Taylor. Boron unhappy with it. As we approach 10 minutes to go before halftime. 0-0 our score here between Taylor and Indiana Wesleyan, and a dangerous set piece here for Iwu. Far side of the field, about 3 yards outside the far side corner of the box. Binkerd and Hargreaves stand over it. Binkerd will take it. Nope. Make it Hargreaves, a right-footed volley in. Still loose in the box. Playing it back to the middle, getting his head on it with Siegelin. Now back to his feet, he'll play it forward. Only those in red standing at the midline in Valdez, who left-foots it up the near sideline where he connects with Davidson. Falling down is Williams. He'll get back to his seat, but not in time before the ball rolls out of play. 9:28 and counting here in half number 1, 8-2. Shots in favor of Indiana Wesleyan here against Taylor, but still neither team has been able to crack the scoreboard just yet. Lynn slips, and that allows Basara to come in and scoop it up. Maloney tried to clear. Basara got his feet in front and keeps it going here in the attacking half for Indiana Wesleyan. Off to Davidson. Challenged by Clay. And a foul called against Clay. He is hopping mad about it. Lynn unhappy with it as well. And that's the 6th foul against Taylor tonight. And Clay still unhappy with it. And Taylor head coach Gary Ross has walked down to get an explanation as well. Hargreaves on top of it again. He took the last free kick for Iwu, who's over here as well. It's also C.J. Strasser stands here as well. On the near side of the field, Iwu shooting on the goal to our left. No score with less than 8.5 minutes to go before halftime. Hargreaves, right foot in-swinger, leaping in front and heading it away is Taylor's Cole Gilliam. Troop on top of it, sends it back in with a right-footed volley, cut down by Gallup, touched along by Andrew Siegelin. Binkerd tried the backheel play, deflected out by Taylor's Quinn Partain, who disagrees. And Iwu with a quick throw-in. 8 minutes to go in the first half. And a half dominated offensively by the Wildcats of Indiana Wesleyan. Long pass to Holwerda. Trying to work it along and finds Andrew Siegelin. He's got Clay cutting in front and dishes off to him. Far side of the field, but the flag goes in the air. Second offside against Taylor tonight as Clay puts his hands in his face, or his face in his hands, and can't believe it. Second offside against the Trojans here this evening. As Iwu will work it from the defensive half. Basara to the near side, got a couple teammates around him, and Strasser back up to Basara. Gilliam comes in, deflected out. It went off of a couple different people. The Taylor bench thought it went off of Basara off the deflection. They'll say it stays here with Indiana Wesleyan. Valdez out, coming in for the Wildcats. Bjorn Helm. And the man to throw it in will be Isaiah Klein.
On for Indiana Wesleyan, number 20, Bjorn Helm.
And they will not let Noah Irwin check in for Taylor. Got to the line a little bit too late. Boron, right foot's one deep. High bounce off the turf. Holwerda coming in. The goalie's out. Holwerda trying to head it around Carr, who knocked it down with his chest as Holwerda tried to head it up and over the Iwu keeper. But Carr using that 6'2 frame to cut off the Holwerda try. And here comes Iwu quick the other way. Basara runs away from trouble. Top of the box, trying to get away. Gallup, Basara dove and could not get the foul as Gallup threw that right foot in there. Bassara had to elude him and went sprawling down to the turf, and Taylor bashed it to the other end. Clay hustling after to the end line. It goes out off of who? Off of those in red, and Taylor, no, off of Clay. A late call from our near side official. He ran all the way to the corner, then pointed out instead of down. McLean Hastings in for Indiana Wesleyan. He replaces starter Benkerd. Irwin comes in to get Clay for Taylor. Less than 6 to go here in the first half. Just one shot on goal aside. But Holwerda had one of the better scoring opportunities just a few moments ago. Was able to beat the defender back off the initial bounce from a long play back in the defensive half for Taylor. He saw Carr, the keeper, coming out, and Holwerda just couldn't head the ball up and over Carr to step around him and then try to put it on goal. The ball was in the air, so there's really no chance for Holwerda to try to play it on the ground and try to dink it around him, run around Carr, then go to the goal. You had to play it in the air. Iwood takes it away just inside midfield. Oliveira's been around a lot of attacking chances here tonight. To Davidson, to the middle, and Mendonça. Try to play it back to Oliveira. Too far for him. Here will be Alzate trying to clear. Nice cut down by Holwerda. Back into space. Irwin rotates back. Maloney was there, and Irwin to the middle, and Alzate. Little deft touch. Nice fake by Siegel, and now he steps across midfield. Boron back to Partain. To the far side, and Boron again. Try to give it off to Partain. Ball was behind him, and a foul called against Quinn as he got tangled up with Macklin Hastings. Foul number 7 against Taylor here in the first half. And this free kick will be, let's call it 8 yards inside midfield, shall we? Hargreaves back to the center circle, and Williams as he stands on top of the purple Trojan headed logo. Long ball to Bassara. Back again to Davidson. Wants to get away from Alzate. They're tangled up. And they get Alzate for the jersey tug. That one comes from our assistant official on the near sideline. It was the one that made the call. Taylor unhappy with it. That'll be the 8th foul against the home team here tonight. Less than 4 to go here in the first half. Wind will be in the face of Taylor in half number 2. 0-0 our score here right now. Hargreaves stands on top of it along with Strasser. Strasser overruns it. Hargreaves will take it. Right foot in swinger. Williams snags it on the fly. Every time that Indiana Wesleyan has taken a free kick tonight, they put 2 guys on top of it. One fakes and runs over it, or runs and then off to the side. And then usually it's been Hargreaves the one to take it. Mendonça standing back in front of Williams, trying to force Williams to punt it, as Luke wanted to throw it out. This one a low one. Can't ride the wind. Boron trying to work his way back, turning it over, but he works all the way back and able to dish it off to Partain. Siegelin to Boron. To empty space, Partain steps in and just drives this one into the night sky, but it will tail out of play. Almost 2.5 minutes remaining here in the opening half. 0-0 our score between Taylor and Indiana Wesleyan. 2 saves of the night for Taylor keeper Luke Williams. 1 stop for Aaron Carr. They come in 1 and 2 respectively in the Crossroads League in saves this year. Separated by just 1 save coming in. Williams was 77 and Carr was 76. Holwerda, pressure on Hargreaves as he carries across midfield. 10 yards inside. Siegelin there on his right hip. Up to Davidson. Over the head of Mendonça. Headed into the air by Taylor's Quinn Partain. It hits the turf and then bicycle kicked away from trouble by Peter Lynn for the time being. Holwerda on Hargreaves' hip as he circles and runs forward. Long pass in the middle. Mendonça lets it roll underneath his feet. Gilliam cut it off, and he's jostled by Oliveira, who's whistled for the foul. 4th foul by Oliveira tonight. Or excuse me, 4th foul against Indiana Wesleyan, I should say. Not all of them have been on Oliveira. And less than 2 minutes to go here in the opening stanza. We are still scoreless between Taylor and Indiana Wesleyan. A cold night here in Upland, Indiana. Temperatures were in the high 40s when we started. It's going to be definitely in the low 40s when we're done. It's going to feel like it's in the 30s thanks to that wind that's been blowing the entire night. And a foul called against Indiana Wesleyan's Luke Davidson as he got too physical with John Alzate on the free kick. Ball is right in the middle of the field with Alzate. And he's going to let Partain take this one.
1 minute remaining.
Two-man wall, maybe three, as Basara walks in to see where his teammates want him. It'll be a three-man wall in front of Partain. Taylor shooting on the goal to our right. Wind is at Partain's back. Left foot, volleys it in. Too much juice as that one carries out of play. The closest man to it for Taylor was Gallup. But the ball had a little too much carry thanks to that wind. And with 34 seconds and counting, Carr will get it back into play for Indiana Wesleyan. But for all intensive purposes, all of the exciting action of our first half will have come to a close a few moments ago. Carr waves Williams forward. And he'll play this with just about 10 seconds left in the first half. So
10, 9, 8, 7.
Partain clears it into the bleachers across from us, and that will be how our first half will come to a close. 9 shots in the first half for Indiana Wesleyan, 2 for the Trojans, 2 shots on goal for the visitors, 1 for the home team, the Taylor Trojans. And at the end of 45 minutes, it's Indiana Wesleyan 0 and Taylor 0. This is Taylor Men's Soccer here on the Trojan Sports Network. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have the BSN Sports Halftime Report here on the Trojan Sports Network.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online Tire Finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland. Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 5 different levels of membership for you to choose from. You can join for as low as $150, all the way up to the Trojan MVP level for $1,500. Each level receives premiums, complimentary season tickets, as well as gifts from the athletic department. Members also receive special recognition during halftime of the annual Silent Night game. In recent years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-5311 or log on to TaylorTrojans.com and click on the Trojan Club tab at the top of the homepage. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student athletes.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body, and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments, in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Since opening in the late 1980s, the Maddox Family Dental Center has been focusing on providing the highest quality dental care for their patients. Children to adults can receive a full-service treatment to meet their dental needs. The Maddox Family Dental Center has 2 locations in Hartford City and Dunkirk and always welcomes new patients. The Maddox Family Dental Center, a proud corporate partner of Taylor University Athletics.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
Play that old song! You really want her to play it. That's what's really going to evoke the memory. You gotta have the music that you listen to.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 5 different levels of membership for you to choose from. You can join for as low as $150, all the way up to the Trojan MVP level for $1,500. Each level receives premiums, complimentary season tickets, as well as gifts from the athletic department. Members also receive special recognition during halftime of the annual Silent Night game. In recent years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-5311 or log on to TaylorTrojans.com and click on the Trojan Club tab at the top of the homepage. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student athletes. Back here at Turner Stadium on a chilly October evening on October 16th. We started everything off at 49 degrees. We are currently at, it says 48, but I don't believe that. Real feels 40. I definitely believe that. And we'll see how this weather affects Taylor here tonight in Indiana Wesleyan. Taylor had the wind at their backs in the first half. They're going to have the wind in their face here in the second. Indiana Wesleyan outshot Taylor 9-2. And 2-1 in shots on goal in half number one, but neither team able to get one past their respective goalkeeper. Each keeper with one stop, with at least one stop. Taylor's Luke Williams with a pair, and Aaron Carr with one for Indiana Wesleyan. So the wind has died down a little bit, but not a ton, as Taylor goes from right to left with the wind in their face here in half number two. Leading shot takers for the Wildcats in the first half: Hargraves, Benkerd, and Mendonça. They each had 2. Agerter had 1, and that's how you get to 9 in the first half for Indiana Wesleyan. The Trojans, Boron, the JV call-up, and Adam Siegelin with 1 as well. Hardy dumping it in, McBride on side. Circling back, near side, but the flag was in the air on the far side of the field. Took a while for our head official to see it. And Taylor gets called for their 3rd offside here of the evening. Nick Thompson, our head official, assisted tonight by Marco Ammerhein, and Tom Parks. Here's Whelan, accelerating nicely on the far side of the field, take the ball away and back into the attacking half. Dribbling to the middle, passing back to Vanderkolk, who is trailing the play. He'll dump it forward to Hardy, circling back to the far side of the field, and this will be Whelan. To the slot, back in trailing is Lynn. Pressure from both sides and off to Whelan, volleying it into the air, over everyone's head, headed back in. McBride trying to sidestep in. Williams trying to clear it here for Indiana Wesleyan as Davidson will punch it forward for the Wildcats. Taylor did not have a lot of success offensively, didn't play a lot of offense in the first half as Maloney dances away from trouble on the far side. Alsate wants to find McBride, cut off by Williams as he leapt into the air and deflected it out towards the far side. Long ball in, Mendonça lets it bounce, and now he's trying to run away from Cole Gilliam. Mendonça hits the brakes as Gilliam runs by him. Mendonça working to the middle with Gallup marking him man-to-man. Mendonça working back, coming in is Vanderkolk. He and Mendonça lock horns, and Iwu comes away with it. To the far side of the field they go. Cross cut down on the Basara try by Taylor's Michael Maloney. Far sideline throw-in is for Indiana Wesleyan as the Wildcats get their first crack at the goal to our right here in the second half. First time they've carried the ball into the attacking half this evening. Basara heaves it in. Mendonça heads it along. Williams off the line and snags it in the middle of the box. Closest Iwu player to it was Glauber Oliveira. Williams' punt into the wind rides almost like his punts do when there is no wind. Well across midfield. Iwu bashes it back into the other end of the field. That's to our right. Basara accelerating hard. Can't get to the ball in time. It rolls out across the end line, and it'll be a goal kick for Taylor's Luke Williams. Keeper in the eyes of his head coach, Gary Ross, believes that Luke is one of the top 2 goalkeepers in the Crossroads League. Surprisingly enough, Luke did not receive all-league recognition a year ago. And that had to have been before he made those back-to-back penalty kick stops against Mount Vernon Nazarene on this field in the Crossroads League tournament quarterfinals last year to win the match for Taylor and send them on to the semis. Williams asked to get the ball going, and now the clock will stop with 41-16 as Williams took too much time. And now he comes out to have a conversation with our head official. So the clock stops at 41-16, just underway here in the second half. Now Luke will tee it up on the near side, and we'll get the ball back into play. Headed back in by Binkert of Indiana Wesleyan. Partain trying to beat Mendonça onto it, and Quinn will play it out of bounds on the near sideline, and Iwu throwing upcoming with Cade Binkert. Binkert throws it in near side, right at Taylor's Quinn Partain, who heads it into the air. Binkert back down, left-footed cross to the far side of the box. Basara, who came off the bench in the opening half, racing after it. Maloney right there with him step for step. Back to the far side of the box, cut in, trying to cross is Indiana Wesleyan on the ground, cut down by Alsate, and then Gallup will drive it away from trouble as it was Strasser who's trying to work it along for Indiana Wesleyan. Vanderkolk throws a leg out there, cuts off the Valdez pass. And out of bounds it goes for another Iwu throw-in. This one heaved into the box. Gilliam into the air, knocked down by Binkert. Scrum for it. Oliveira on top of it, circling back. As he'll dance with on the far side of the box. Back to Valdez. Wieland marking him for Taylor. Cross sent in. Gilliam chesting it away as he again jumped high in the air. Maloney surveying, and then we'll just drive it up. In the direction of McBride, went off of his defender Williams' shoulder and off to Hargraves. Back to where it came from in the left side of the center circle in Williams. And right foots it forward for Indiana Wesleyan. Maloney to Vanderkolk, wanted to find Lynn, intercepted by Oliveira. He's got a pretty nice little first step. To the cutting Troop on the near side, coming out to mark him as Partain as he crouches low. Troop sweeping it back to Binkert. Left-footed cross. A couple players sliding around. Mendonça was the intended target. He slid. And it goes out off of Taylor across the end line. Another corner upcoming here for Indiana Wesleyan. Their first one here of the second half and their fourth one in the contest here overall. Hargraves on the far side corner. He's taken most of the set pieces here tonight for the Wildcats. Right-footed in-swinger. Maloney jumps in front and heads it away before it could get even closer to the goal. Far sideline, Hargraves steps away from Taylor's Paul McBride. Into the middle, and again, it's a Gilliam header away from trouble. Into space, Hardy intercepts up the near sideline, too far for Vanderkolk to get to. As Davidson tried to work it along, Hardy cut it off, and now he is going to drop back on defense here with Garrett Troop, who will throw it in for Indiana Wesleyan on the near sideline in front of his own bench. Iwu in red with white numbers on the front and back, with white stripes on the front of those uniforms, white shorts, red socks. Taylor in the traditional home whites with purple stripes, purple numbers, white shorts, white socks. Cross to the middle, sent away by Maloney on a nice try from Oliveira. Wes Williams holds it in for Indiana Wesleyan. Backpedaling from trouble is Davidson, back to the midline, and Hargraves. Right foot far side, this will be Valdez. Valdez stepping in, two defenders collapse around him. Valdez hits the brakes, poked away from him by Alzate. Whelan couldn't keep it away, and Valdez works it on back to Hargraves. They want Mendoza, their leading goal scorer. They can't find him. And Wes Williams steps in and will try to press it forward once again. Gallup read it beautifully from about 10 yards back. He'll volley it forward all the way about 15 yards outside, or 20 yards away from the top of the box is the keeper, Carr. And Iowa quickly moves it back to the attacking half with Binkert. Trying to slip away from Lynn. Binkert falls down. Iowa looks for a foul that will not come. And the ball is kicked out of bounds on the near sideline, last touched by Taylor. As Iowa head coach Luke Sanford walks right down the near sideline and is unhappy with Tom Parks, our near side official. As Gilliam slips, he gets up looking for a foul, and he kicked it out of bounds. And now Sanford turns his sights on our lead official, again arguing about the non-foul call that happened a few moments ago. Almost overrunning it is Strasser. Lynn with a challenge. Strasser back to his feet in the middle. Oliveira in. Mendoza trying to spin away. Vanderkolk knocks make that Partain, who kicks the shot away. Sliding is Alzate, and Taylor gets the ball out of the box as Mendoza was right there on the doorstep, but good one-on-one defense there by Partain. Lynn, though, sticks his leg out, and Oliveira trips over it. Lynn taps the ball on the back to say as an apology, and Taylor is whistled for their 9th foul of the night. And a free kick upcoming from the middle of the field here for Indiana Wesleyan. Almost 9 minutes into the second half. No score between Taylor and Indiana Wesleyan. Taylor with the wind in their faces here in the second half, but has not slowed them down offensively just yet. Binkert and Hargraves over it. Hargraves will take a right-footed blast that's easily snagged by Williams as that one bounced right to him. Third shot from Hargraves tonight. Third save for Taylor's Luke Williams. And Williams will punt this one back into play. And again, that win, no trouble for Luke. It's deflected to the far side, and that allows Whelan to get to it. Williams right there. Whelan trying to dump it in deep, trying to find an edge. A slide nicely done by, looks like, Valdez. But then his clearance sent back in by Taylor's Cole Gilliam. Alzate jostled from behind, almost lost his foot. The man behind him slipped down. That was Davidson. Partain on the near side of the field, across the midline to his former high school teammate Owen Hardy. Partain backpedaling to the midfield line, and Lynn. He'll step away from Oliveira, then sidesteps Mendoza. Crossfield pass to the far side, and Michael Maloney as Taylor shoots on the goal to our left here in the second half. Scoreless contest between they and their cross-county foes, Indiana Wesleyan. Ball headed out by the Iowa D as we almost hit 10 minutes gone here in half number 2, no score. Maloney to throw it in. Gilliam jogging from the back as an outlet if Maloney wants it. Deflected back to Gilliam, sends it into the box. Vanderkolk trying to read it, headed away by the Iowa D. Passing to the near side. Hardy lets the ball come to him on the try, on the pass from McBride. Overlapping run. Partain gets it on the near sideline. Big stutter steps, cut off nicely by Troop. Then Partain steps in front of him and wins the ball back. Vanderkolk, some fancy footwork, gets free. Crossing with the left foot near side. Snatched on the near side post by the keeper, Aaron Carr. Partain did a good job to get the ball back, and then somehow, with a couple flicks of his ankles, Vanderkolk got loose and looked across, but it was Carr who snatched the cross right out of the air. Now, Iowa will try to build from the back with their junior Wes Williams. Far side to Valdez. Left-footed pass to the middle. Binkert right there. 5 yards outside the box. Might have been deflected on the way there, just out of the reach of Williams. It goes out off of a Taylor deflection, and another Iwu goal kick or corner kick upcoming. It'll be their 5th one tonight. Third shot for Binkert, the 11th one overall for the visitors from across Grant County. And again, it'll be Hargraves to take this set piece, a corner from the far side of the field. Hargraves, right-footed in-swinger, punched away at the top of the box, or the top of the crossbar by the extended right arm of Luke Williams. And now the corner will come to the near side of the field, 6th one of the night for Iowa. Actually, it'll stay on the far side of the field with Hargraves. Hargraves a couple quick steps in, a low in-swinger this time, deflected back, headed back to the middle by Wes Williams. Whelan trying to knock it away for Taylor, still in the box. Popped in the air by Gallup. Here comes Williams, out-jumping everybody. He climbed the fictional ladder and out-jumped into the 6'2 Mendonça, and then throws a BB out to the near side, and Hardy, who volleys it in deep towards the speedy McBride. Too far for Paul to get to in the backpedaling car. The freshman keeper for Indiana Wesleyan makes easy work after Taylor tried to quickly work from the back after a stellar jumping snag by the senior Luke Williams. Oliveira tried to get fancy, lost it. Lynn took it away from him. Long pass intended for Hardy, sniped away from him by Troop. But then his pass intercepted by Partain, who softly volleys it forward to Hardy. And then along to the speedster and McBride, the Trojans' leading goal scorer. But right as Paul kicked it into gear, the flag went in the air across from us. And Taylor whistled for their 4th offside here tonight. Almost 13 minutes have expired here in the second half. Taylor still getting dominated in shots, 12-2. 4 stops for the senior Luke Williams. Strasser. Hardy trying to win the challenge, could not, as Strasser deals off to the near side of the field, and Troop. A long ball in, wants to find Binkert. Gallup cuts him off. Binkert trying to work his way back. The ball pops free into the feet of Taylor's Quinn Partain. Near sideline to Hardy. 3 defenders around him. He'll lay it back to Partain, who skies it to McBride, who's across midfield. Headed down, Alzate off of his chest, sidesteps pressure to the near side. Too far for Owen Hardy, and out of play, and a throw upcoming for Indiana Wesleyan and Zach Hargraves out of England. Troop will throw it into him. Carr directing traffic. And now he gets it back about 5 yards inside the box. A right foot to the far side, and Valdez. Valdez in, and Williams will snag it inside the box as they tried to find Mendonça, did Indiana Wesleyan. Gabe Beauron about to come in for the first time here in the second half. He had one of the 2 shots for Taylor in half one. Headed on here, McBride trying to slip through 2 different defenders. He was jostling around, and Valdez tried to clear it. The initial try cut off by McBride, and then Valdez able to get the ball away. 2 defenders bracketed McBride and just jostled him around enough that he couldn't keep moving it forward and trying to go one-on-one against the goalie with that electrifying speed. Still nothing between Taylor and Indiana Wesleyan. About 15 minutes have been expired here in half number 2. Pass too far for Brassara. Off of Gilliam, and he'll clear it away on the far sideline. Up that far sideline, curling out of play. And Valdez will throw it in for Indiana Wesleyan, quickly dealing it into Davidson. Right foot to the near side, in the air. Troop will knock it right back down to Strasser. To the middle of the field, and Binkert touching it off to Mendonça. Poked away from him by Taylor's John Alzate. Now off to Hardy. Mendonça will shove Hardy away and win the ball back for Indiana Wesleyan, and then deal off to Troop. Looking over his shoulder was Davidson. Touch on, missed Mendonça was Oliveira, and Taylor clears. McBride, he and Williams collide. Williams falls down, but the ball redirects and finds Hargraves. Hargraves trying to run away from McBride. Now runs away from Hardy, eludes Lynn, and then deals it back to his teammate Davidson across the midline. Hargraves blew a tire, got back to his feet. To the box, headed on back dangerously by Maloney. Bassar was right there with him, but nobody there in front of Taylor's keeper, Luke Williams. And then he flings this one out like a frisbee to the far side of the field where he finds Maloney. We've already seen Luke throw one about 40 yards tonight. So this one to the far side of the field from the middle of the box. Pretty easy work for one in black. Vanderkolk wanted Whelan, could not get him. As Tony Agerter comes in for Indiana Wesleyan. Luke Holwerda and Gabe Boron in here for Indiana Wesleyan. They replace, for Taylor, excuse me, they replace Hardy and Paul McBride. Checking out for Indiana Wesleyan will be Philip Bossara, 6'1" sophomore out of Austria. Nothing between Taylor and Indiana Wesleyan. Almost 28 minutes left to go here in the second half. I would try to find the Brazilian Mendonça, their leading goal scorer with 12 tallies on the year. Couldn't do it as it goes out of play. Throw in, headed around twice, headed around a third time, and then cut down by Josiah Whelan. Benkerd eluding Lynn, as Benkerd flying up the far side of the field, freshman out of Oregon. Iwu reverses the point of attack. Troop now working back to the middle from the near side. Strasser to Davidson. Oliveira marked by Partain. Boron comes to help. The deal off to Mendonça, back to Oliveira. Try to work Mendonça in. His pass circles and slides on through the box. Nobody there except Taylor's Cole Gilliam and the keeper, Luke Williams, who snatches the ball up. There's that 40-foot fling or 40-yard fling again on the throw from the right arm of Luke Williams. But I will able to hold it in their attacking half of the aforementioned Oliveira. Quick passing. They want to find Benkerd. He got a step on Partain. His cross deflected out across the end line by Taylor's Alex Gallup. Here comes the seventh corner of the evening for Indiana Wesleyan. 4 here in the second half for the visitors. Coming into the night, Taylor had their opponents outnumbering them in corner kicks in the second half this year, 52-27. A short one back into Hargraves. Looking to cross with the left foot to the backside post. Almost knocked it on a redirect, but it went screaming out of play. It went to the far side post and stashing in front of Luke Williams. Looked to be number 16, Jeremy Baldez. He was slow to get back to his feet. Now he does. He came flying in like a missile from the weak side of the box. And if he heads that one in, it might have taken the net off its hinges. But Baldez pops back to his feet. Joe Walter, the Taylor athletic trainer, comes on to make sure that Baldez is okay. Good to see Baldez back to his feet, walking off under his own power. But I think a sub will come in here for Indiana Wesleyan. Looks like it might be Isaiah Klein. And will be Klein to check in here with Baldez.
14, Isaiah Klein.
Klein saw some time in the first half. And a goal kick here for Luke Williams. So I think. And now Baldez is. They're having him act like a little teapot. But Baldez is not short and stout. He is 6 foot and a lean 165. So he looks to be okay. He's going to slug some water.
Number 24, Adam Siegelin.
And then come back in. Adam Siegelin in to replace Josiah Whelan. 13-2. Shots in favor of Indiana Wesleyan here in this contest so far. 4 shots on goal for the Wildcats. 2 here in the second half. Taylor still has yet to muster a shot in the second half. This one goes off the crossbar by Indiana Wesleyan on the near side. It almost hit the bottom of the crossbar. It did, but then bounced out. And the second time in the last few moments that Indiana Wesleyan has come to striking first. Instead, our match remains scoreless. Troop near side. Partain sweeps it forward to the newcomer, Adam Siegelin. Now to Lynn. Pressure all around him. He steps away from pressure. Partain left foots this one up the near sideline. Holwerda keeps it in play, but cannot keep it away from Hargraves of Indiana Wesleyan. Plays it in deep. Mendonça onside, right edge of the box. Gilliam marks him. Mendonça crosses over the post, back out near side as Mendonça almost deflected it in. Taylor unable to clear, headed away. This one by Michael Maloney as Hargraves trying to put it into the back of the net. That's now 3 different tries for Indiana Wesleyan here in the last 2 minutes plus. And our score remains at 0-0. Hargrave steps through a challenge, couldn't keep the ball as Alzate takes it away. First shot was Mendonça that went off the crossbar a few moments ago after the header try from Valdez, and now Taylor turns it over in their own defensive half. Nice outstretch, almost doing the splits was Gallup as he cuts off the pass from Binkert. Going out of play, though, Partain couldn't get to it in time. Helter-skelter action here in the second half with less than 25 minutes to go. Troop back across the midline to Hargraves, then back to the center circle in Wes Williams. Still 0-0 here between Taylor and Indiana Wesleyan, but the Wildcats have almost knocked the door down a couple different times in the last few moments. And the post has been Taylor keeper Luke Williams' best friend here in the last few moments. Andrew Siegelin in for the Trojans to replace Clay Vanderkolk. Still 0-0 with less than 24 minutes to go here in half number 2. But Taylor has been, after having a nice couple minutes of possession in the attacking half to start the second half, they're right back in the defensive half, like much that they were in the first half. Strasser taken away by Alzate. Boran wanted the long pass to the elder Adam Siegelin, but couldn't connect with him. His younger brother Andrew intercepts a pass here to Gilliam, then to Lynn, and then back to Maloney. Maloney faking, dancing, and left footing up to Alzate. Want to touch it down to Boran. They sweep it back to Maloney on the far side of the field as Taylor operates from the defensive half. Long ball in, and Adam Siegelin offside by about 3 yards. 5th offside against Taylor here in the contest tonight. Iowa's had all the shots this evening, out shooting Taylor 16-2, including 5-1 in shots on goal, and a bunch of those shots came into fury a few moments ago. Oliveira with the Siegelin brothers bracketing him on the near side. To the right edge of the box, and Troop, his cross will sail out of play behind the goal. And Paul McBride, after a short breather, will re-enter here for Taylor in the second half. He'll replace Adam Siegelin.
Number 11, Paul McBride.
Bjorn Helm ready to come back in for Indiana Wesleyan. Gallup trying to work it from the back. Right footing it forward across the midline. Deflected near side as Holwerda trying to pop it into the air. It'll go out of play. And it's going to stay with who? No signal yet. But the way that Partain's jogging, he's going to be the one to throw it in, and he will be for Taylor. Fakes throwing it back to Lynn as he draws 2 different defenders. But they're going to allow Wieland along with Helm to check back in here for their respective sides. Helm will come in to get Troop for Indiana Wesleyan. Boran exits for the Taylor, replaced by Wieland. And now Partain can throw it in. Does so to Holwerda. Back into space near side of the field, and Lynn. Then Adam Siegelin turns it over, pass to nobody. Intercepted by Mendonça. To the middle, wants to find Oliveira. Good hustle by Lynn to beat him to it. He'll deal it on back to Taylor's Michael Maloney. Midline, far side, Wieland. To Lynn with some space. Now that collapses with Agerter around him. Pass will find the feet of Holwerda near side. And now off to Andrew Siegelin. Far side to Wieland. 21-20 remaining in the second half. No score between Taylor and Indiana Wesleyan. Wieland surveys and finds the trailing Michael Maloney. Back to the far side, Wieland looking to cross, right foot does. Cut off by Williams into the air. Hits the turf again. Alzate in the middle of some trouble. Ball pops to the middle. Coming in forward is Partain. Left footing one near side. Too short for Holwerda to get to. Easily intercepted on the near side, and racing forward will be Helm. Trying to touch it in. He and Holwerda collide. Helm keeps his feet, pushing it forward to Mendonça. 5 yards outside the box. Mendonça tries a rising shot that sails 5 yards above the crossbar. Shot number 17 tonight for Indiana Wesleyan. Mendonça records his 5th one this evening. He has 5. Hargraves with 5. Binkert with 3. Oliveira with 2. Agerter with 1. Valdez with 1 as well. Williams has stopped 4 shots tonight. Or make it 5 shots, I should say. And has had a couple other helps from the crossbar a couple different times. Williams marking McBride, wanted to head it to the middle, goes off of Williams, and that allows McBride to get the ball back to his feet. Turns the corner on Wes Williams, his right foot across to the middle, through legs. Siegelin racing after it, can't get to it, slide back. Here's Whelan from range, long shot, near side, just misses the near side post. As that ball eventually found Josiah Whelan from about 20 yards away or so. A good rip from Josiah Whelan, just the 3rd shot of the contest for Taylor and their first one here the second half. As the pass went through a couple different players' legs, Siegelin got beat to the ball, but the clearance was off target by Indiana Wesleyan and then found Whelan's feet. But no fault of Siegelin's, as Alzate wants to deflect it to the middle. Clearance cut off by Andrew Siegelin, and now the clearance happens for Indiana Wesleyan. Mendoza, midfield, trying to body with Gallup, which is a tough thing to do. Alex steps in again, and it's taken away with help from Gallup's teammate, Alzate. And now Gallup runs, and he's taken down to the turf. No foul called as the 6'1", 180 Gallup thrown down to the turf with relative ease by Strasser. And now our officials hear it from the Taylor fans for the first time here in the second half. Benkert near side of the field, into the box, and to nobody. So a goal kick upcoming for Luke Williams. 2 subs ready to check back in for Indiana Wesleyan. It'll be Philip Basara, along with Jeremy Baldez, and Owen Hardy comes in for Taylor.
On for Indiana Wesleyan.
Klein exits for Indiana Wesleyan.
And number 16, Jeremy Baldez.
Who else checks out? It'll be Oliveira exits for Indiana Wesleyan. As we mentioned, Hardy in for Taylor, replacing Holwerda. Almost 18 minutes remaining here in the second half. We are scoreless between Taylor and Indiana Wesleyan. The Wildcats women's soccer team got the better of Taylor earlier today, a 2-0 win for the 14th ranked Wildcats, who are the top team on the women's side in Crossroads League women's soccer. But a big 3 points on the line here, as you mentioned in the first half, which for both of these teams. Lynn chopped down from behind by Basara. Foul number 6 against Indiana Wesleyan tonight. Taylor with 7 points, 6th place in the Crossroads League. Indiana Wesleyan tied for 4th with Bethel with 9 points. So a win tonight by Taylor could put them into a top 4 spot in the Crossroads League, which would host a quarterfinal match coming up in about 2 weeks or so. Top 8 teams make the tournament. Top 4 teams host an opening round contest. Mendoza onside, looked as Gallup tried to put his hand in the air, trying to get the offside call. Mendoza bumped by Gilliam. Back heel kick allows Maloney to drive this one up the far side of the field. Williams has had trouble playing ball side. McBride trying to make life difficult for him. McBride accelerating, touched away almost before the keeper could get to it by Hargraves. And Hargraves calmly plays it away, but then Iwu turns it over on the far side of the field as Taylor quickly resets for a throw-in in their attacking half. Taylor played a lot of defense in the first half. They played a lot of defense here so far in the second. They're starting to get a couple of chances, trying to create something here offensively, trying to break our scoring deadlock here of 0. Maloney had the throw in, punched out of bounds by Alzate. And Iwu quickly throws it in. Again, they try to find Mendoza. Bodies up with Gilliam. Steps away from 2 different defenders as Mendoza then will lay it on back near the midfield stripe, and Davidson. Hargraves. McBride marking him, then back to the center circle and Wes Williams. Strasser to Hargraves. Hargraves jogging with it and right-footing one to the middle of the field. Gilliam reads it, heads it back up near the midline. Dancing with it, Whelan trying to take it away from, looked like it was Strasser, make that Davidson. And a crossfield pass to the near side. Trying to step around Partain was Helm. Iwu able to hold it in here. Partain left-footing it forward to Hardy. The 2 Wheaton Academy mates connect. And then Hardy dumps it back to Partain, who can't keep it in play as it just rolls out of bounds on the near sideline, just in front of Iwu head coach Luke Sanford. Taylor unable to clear. Iwu holds it in with Basara. Tripped up by Gallup. And a foul called against Taylor's Alex Gallup. His keeper Luke Williams unhappy with it. Taylor fans unhappy as well. Basara slow to get back to his feet. As Hargraves and Binkert stand over this one for Indiana Wesleyan. It'll come 22 yards away from the goal, near side of the field. Binkert will run over it. Hargraves will take it. Outswinger far side, punched away by the right hand of Luke Williams to the far side corner. Trying to get to it first were the Trojans. They could not. It'll go out of bounds on the sideline, and it'll be an Iwu throw-in from the far side of the field in the far corner. Almost 14 minutes left to go in this one. Thrown into the box, headed away by Taylor. Back heel kick tried by Whelan, held in by Iwu. Wheeler, make that Maloney skies it. Headed down, and here comes McBride, chesting it forward. Overrun, Taylor looks for a handball that won't come. Valdez, cross, Williams off the line. He hops in the air and snags it easily. Quickly flings this one out to the uncovered Josiah Whelan, who's got some room to operate. Pens it in deep. McBride there, right edge of the box. Trying to play it onto the end line. Crossing back to Mill. Hardy slides, overrun. Whelan tried to hold it and poked away from him. Here comes Lynn from distance. A rocket that'll just miss the crossbar as Peter Lynn almost gave Taylor the lead with less than 13 and a half minutes to go. That one taken from about 28 yards away. And if that one goes in, this place would come unglued. A rare shot for Taylor tonight, just their fourth one of the evening. And here comes just their second corner kick of the night. Hardy will take it from the near side of the field. Alzate exits for the Trojans. And Clay Vanderkolk comes back in. No score, less than 13 minutes remaining here in half number 2. Hardy to take it near side. Right foot, in swinger, backside post. Headed back in. Back heel flick on by Whelan after it's headed on by Vanderkolk. But it was easily snuffed out by the keeper Carr. Right-footed blast. Gilliam steps in front of the intended target, Basara. Headed back into space. Hardy trying to keep working it in Taylor's favor. But Iwu able to find the feet of Davidson. Good challenge from Vanderkolk. And Partain will keep it in on the near sideline as Basara screams at our near side official. That falls on deaf ears. Taylor throws it in. McBride gets away with a push on the back of Hargraves. And Hargraves gets the ball back as Karma works out here, it looks like. Both teams getting a little chippy here. Partain will lightly toss Binkert out of play. But Binkert able to throw it into the attacking half for Indiana Wesleyan. Basara plays it back to him. Binkert got a nice head of steam, hit the brakes, then passed it to the middle of the field. Rotating over his shoulder was Agater. Challenge with Maloney, battling with Valdez. And now Valdez wants to take Maloney one-on-one. Maloney puts his foot in front, takes the ball away, rolling to the far sideline. It'll get out of play before Maloney can get on top of it, and Valdez will throw it in with 11:40 to go in the second half and no score. Valdez backs up and fires it in with two hands in the box. Headed back in by Mendonça. Headed away by Partain of Taylor. Back into the box by Iwu. Headed to the far side and out of play on a try by Binkert. Oliveira about to come back in for Indiana Wesleyan. And Noah Rodman's going to make his first appearance of the night here the next opportunity. Into the wind, the goal kick comes from Williams of Taylor. And Iwu heads it out of play. Partain to throw it in. Finds Lynn and then back to Quinn Partain. Back up to Lynn, running away from trouble. Cross field, but it's cut off by the head of Agater. Gilliam up near the midline. One bounce. Andrew Siegelin cuts it off for the time being. Maloney, Whelan, one touch pass intercepted by Strasser of Iwu. Crossfield curled in, hits the turf. Hardy leaps for it, but cannot get it away from Helm. Mendonça in the middle, back to the trailing Hargraves, who pass it up to him. Hargraves maneuvering to his right, long try, and it's going to go into the back of the net for Zach Hargraves' third goal of the year. He hit that one from almost 30 yards away. Really nothing Taylor keeper Luke Williams could do as Hargraves now rips his shirt off and runs around the Turner Stadium turf. and now looks over to the Taylor students beating his chest, and a yellow card has been issued to Hargraves, unbeknownst to him, as he has yet to put his shirt back on in this cool evening. Just a beautiful shot from Hargraves. Here comes Oliveira in for Binkard. Noah Rodman in for Taylor. But Hargraves just went top shelf on the near side of the field and put a beautiful ball in. And after Indiana Wesleyan had come close twice, it's a 1-0 IU lead. And with time, the enemy of Taylor here in the second half, and we'll see if Rodman can inject some life here into the Taylor proceedings here this evening. The 18th shot, the difference right now for Indiana Wesleyan. They've outshot Taylor 18-5, and now Rodman's got it in the middle, poked away from him, and now Iowa will try to work from the back. There's 5 shots tonight for Taylor. Only 2 have been on goal. They have played a lot of defense tonight, but it's Hargraves, a sophomore out of England, scores his 3rd goal of the year. It's a 1-0 IU lead. Hardy, near side of the field. Taylor shooting on the goal to our left. Goes backside of the box. Wheeland there, taken down. Taylor looks for a foul that will not be called. But Siegelin plays it back. The IU defender who collided with Wheeland still has not gotten back up. Ball knocked around. Hardy trying to work it in the box, poked away from him. And IU tries to clear off the foot. Basara runs to the challenge of Partain. But the play will be blown dead as back behind the play is Jeremy Baldez. He's down with 9:21 to go in the second half, and we'll take a break for the injury timeout. Baldez back to his feet, but being helped off the field by Taylor athletic trainer Joe Walter. But it is good to see Baldez able to walk up, even though it is with a little bit of assistance. Isaiah Klein comes in to replace him, and also coming back in, I think they're going to let him come in, will be Garrett Troop. 9:21 to go here in this second half, as Baldez trying to walk it off a little bit here. Looks like he says he got undercut a little bit. That's how he ended up on the turf. That's the message he relays to head coach for Indiana Wesleyan, Luke Sanford. So Troop will remain on the sidelines, but the clock, the enemy of the Taylor Trojans right now, they've been outshot by a wide margin tonight, outshot 18-5. Carr's made 2 saves tonight on the 2 shots on goal by Taylor, but they've only had 5 shots in total here so far, as the Trojans try to avoid dropping their 2nd match in a row. And a big opportunity for Taylor tonight, as we mentioned, with a win tonight against Indiana Wesleyan. They had an opportunity to at least to potentially be in 4th place in the Crossroads League standings, or at least in 5th, heading into Saturday's contest here at Turner Stadium against Huntington. But the big goal with about just a little over 10 minutes left to go in this one from Hargraves, his 3rd goal of the year on an absolute rocket, has given Iowa the 1-0 lead right here, as Troop comes in and he's going to replace Bjorn Helm. Clock ticking with 8:22 to go here in the second half. Whelan hops into the air and heads it down to Andrew Siegelin. Wants to turn over that left shoulder, jostling for position with Strasser. Back across the midfield line to Gilliam, wants to play it in deep. Too high for Whelan to get to, and it goes out of play. Indiana Wesleyan will have another throw-in on the far side of the field. Maloney off to Andrew Siegelin. Lynn will dump it back into space, and Alex Gallup runs away from Oliveira. Gallup racing forward. His pass deflected, but right to the feet of Lynn. Near side of the field, big left foot from Lynn. Rodman into space, too far for Vanderkolk, who's at a standstill to the end line, cut off. Vanderkolk trying to deflect it off of Troop, but he's unsuccessful in doing so. But good try there by Clay Vanderkolk, the sophomore out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. A cold night. It started off very windy. The wind has died down here in the second half. Still a little bit of an issue, but not as much as we saw in the first 45 minutes. Less than 7 minutes to go in regulation. Taylor needs the ball back, and they need it quickly. Andrew Siegelin tried to win the aerial, knocked away, as the Taylor fans voiced their displeasure. Davidson, near side to Basara. Basara trying to work away from Hardy, and he taps it away from the sophomore. Race to the end line. Basara cut off by Gallup. And to the end line, it goes out off of Basara. Gallup quickly deals it back to the box, and Luke Williams. 6:27 and counting here in the second half. Taylor down by a goal. Williams right-footed forward. Lynn sweeps it on with the head. Knocked back to him, and then pops it forward to Hardy. He's got teammates galore ahead of him. Does Owen Hardy. Trying to create here as he works and deals it off from the near sideline to Vanderkolk. Vanderkolk trying to get some space, looking to cross, fakes it with his right foot, now works back to his left to the end line, fakes the cross again, trying to find some open space and just cannot get away from the pesky Garrett Troop. Lynn curls it in, headed back to the far side of the box by Partain to the far sideline. Maloney racing after it, can't get to it before it rolls out of play, and Cade Binkert will come in here for Indiana Wesleyan as the clock starts to wind closer to 5 minutes remaining here in regulation.
Now on for Indiana Wesleyan, number 5, Cade Binkert.
Philip Basara exits and takes the tape off of his wrists and throws it onto the turf. Mendonça has it sent up to him on the far side, and now Iowa will try to play keep away with 5:15 and counting here in the second half. Hardy cuts off a pass in the middle for Taylor. Lynn pressured from behind. Cannot elude Strasser, who takes it away from Peter Lynn. Oliveira outside of the box, fakes a shot, works to his left foot, dances across the top of the box, wants to get back to his right foot, poked away by Gallup, and now Gallup with a head of steam coming up the near side. Kept away from him by Davidson. Binkert into the box, and Mendonça. Slide tackle by Gilliam. Indiana Wesleyan looks for a foul. If it would have been called, it would have been a penalty kick. Mendonça slow to get back up in the box. Gilliam plays it off of the IWU defender, and Hardy ran too far ahead as Mendonça still slow to get back up in the box. Down to our right. And now the clock will stop as IWU head coach Luke Sanford really upset that there was no foul called on the aggressive challenge by Taylor's Cole Gilliam. 4:28 to go here in the second half. And Hardy will throw it in on the near sideline. Cade Binkert talking things over with one of our assistant referees. And Hardy will throw it in for Taylor with the Trojans down 1. Rodman fouled by Binkert. And then IWU plays the ball all the way deep. Taylor looking for a card to come out. Now the ball is going to go the other, about 10 yards on the other side of midfield. Again, clock the enemy of Taylor here in the second half as we approach 4 minutes to go in regulation, and Taylor down by 1. Hardy sent away. Gallup will take the free kick, 7 yards outside midfield. Sends one towards the box. Whelan heads it back into the box. Trying to get to it first was Vanderkolk. It's cleared away by those in red out to the far sideline. It'll bounce across midfield as Gallup tried to connect with his high school teammate Josiah Whelan. As he flicked it on back, but nobody was there to keep working the ball even closer to the goal for TU. Gilliam up to Lynn, pushed down from behind, foul against Indiana Wesleyan. And a free kick for Taylor. Maloney wants this one with less than 3.5 minutes to go in the second half. Taylor still down 1-0. Maloney surveying things in front of him. Jogs forward, puts a right foot into it. Toward the near side of the box. Lynn there. Carr punches it away, does the keeper for Indiana Wesleyan. Wheeling near side, sidestepping the defender, taken down. A foul is called, and this one kicked away by Indiana Wesleyan with less than 3 to go here in the second half. But Hardy wisely calls for a ball on the near sideline as that one was kicked to the Taylor defensive half. Hardy and Partain stand over this one. It's coming from the near side of the field. We'll call it 3 yards outside the box. He'll be 19 yards away from the goal. It'll come into the right of the keeper, Carr, as he moves the 4-man wall for Indiana Wesleyan. Partain overruns it. Hardy takes it. A high flyer to the backside. Gilliam heads it down, but it's going to go out of play on the end line as Gilliam was backpedaling. He didn't have his balance underneath of him. Hardy got a little bit too much underneath that ball, and it sailed on him all the way to the far side of the penalty box, or the penalty area, excuse me. Almost 2 minutes to go here in this one. The difference right now, the 3rd goal of the year for sophomore Zach Hargraves of Indiana Wesleyan. And now the clock will stop with 2:01 to go in the second half as Carr will move the ball to the near side of the box. Plays it in, deflected down to Lynn in the center circle. Volleying forward. Partain now is a forward position. Sweeping it forward with a hand. It was not called as Rodman eludes pressure. Laying it back to Hardy. Will go crossfield, cut down by Andrew Siegelin. Iwu can't clear it, however. And now they do with a rocket with 1:42 to go in half 2. Mendonça back. Gallup. Now up to Lynn. Into space. Hardy will get there to it. 90 seconds left in this one. Taylor down by 1. Hardy back to Lynn. Sends this one to the box. Knocked away by Wes Williams. Partain cuts the clearance off. Iwu working forward, and they'll bash to the other side of midfield. Oliveira with it. Gallup takes him down with an aggressive tackle, and plays allowed to continue as Oliveira down inside the center circle. Taylor has it up to Gallup with 67 seconds left. Crossing ball to the top. Vanderkolk turns. His shot is blocked just inside the box. To the end line it goes. Iwu clears it away. Far sideline with less than a minute to go here in the second half, and Taylor down 1. Partain will throw it in from the attacking half. He'll throw it back to Maloney. Dribbling forward. Right-footed cross. Blocked. To the end line it goes, and Taylor's got to hurry up. And this one will be a corner on the far side of the field with 38 seconds left, and Taylor down by 1. A great opportunity for Partain to use that beautiful left foot of his from the far side of the field as we hit 30 seconds left in the second half. Partain approaches a left-footed in-swinger to the box, and Carr catches it cleanly just right there on the goal line. He falls down, and that might just do it as the Trojans put Luke Williams forward as well as we hit 15 seconds left to go in the second half as Carr drives it into the night sky.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
And this one will be sent deep,
3,
and that
2,
will do it.
1.
Indiana Wesleyan comes in and gets a goal with 10:15 left to go in the second half from the sophomore from Manchester, England, Zach Hargraves. And they win their second match in a row. Indiana Wesleyan improves to 4-3 in the Crossroads League and 6-6-3 overall as they defeat Taylor tonight by a final of 1-0. The Trojans fall to 6-7-3 overall, 2-4-1 in the Crossroads League. Taylor has got Senior Day upcoming on Saturday night when they welcome Huntington here to Turner Stadium for a 7 o'clock start time. Special thanks to Josh Fenwick, our camera operator upstairs, and we thank you folks for tuning in here tonight as well. Final score here from Turner Stadium on the campus of Taylor University was Indiana Wesleyan 1 and Taylor University 0. This has been a presentation of Taylor Men's Soccer here on the Trojan Sports Network. Until we talk to you on Saturday night, we say good evening and good night from Upland, Indiana.